I need for today is already within me. I was made for this moment. No matter what you're going through, remember, all you have to do is tap into your inner strength. Pray that God continues to keep you and guide you, and that He allows you to know what day of the week it is. Look, we got a great show for you. It's your main man, Action Jackson. Unfortunately, Tamara Fair is not on air. She is okay, but we want to continue to do what the song said. We want to pray for Tamara because when people don't make it into work, it's not always that it's something so serious, but whatever it may be, just say a little prayer. Hey, I pray that all is well. I pray that everything is going okay. Just say a little prayer for tomorrow. You know what? We're praying for you, believers. We got a great show for you today. Don't go nowhere. We got way more to share right here on the Brunch Bunch on Inspiration 1390.
Hey, my people, ready to level up your kindergarten classroom game? Introducing Effective Kindergarten Classroom Management Strategies for Success. This ain't just any book, it's your roadmap to running a tight ship while keeping the vibe fun and inclusive. Say bye bye to those chaos filled days and hello to smooth sailing with my tried and true tips. Let's empower our little ones together. Grab your
I
copy
have
now
had
and let's
one
make
heck of a
magic in the
morning. Look,
classroom.
have my hair looking a little better. I washed it. Is it wet and wavy like Zoe's? Me too. Valencia was like, take that video down from the show yesterday. She said, you look crusty, tired. And I looked at it. I said, ain't nobody in that studio tell me I look that bad. Y'all ain't right. Whoisjac.org. That's www. Oh, Bloom is finally back with us. Beat me there. Saturday, October the 19th. For our day adventure at Brookfield Zoo.
Churchview Supported Living would like you to tour their beautiful housing community ahead of the holidays with studios and one-bedroom apartments, 24-hour care, medication reminders, laundry and housekeeping services, free restaurant-style meals daily, served in our exclusive dining room, daily activities. I know what prayer can do. I know what prayer can do. Oh, Lordy. Schedule your tour today. Call 773-471-4444. That's 773-471-4444. We hope to see you soon. Call 773-471-4444. Churchview Supportive Living is an equal housing opportunity.
Hey, believers, it's your main man, Action Jackson. Are you searching for a life-changing word? Turn it down no further than Corby Bush Ministries. Tune in every Saturday. I know what prayer can do. I know what prayer can do. I know what prayer can do. Prayer that will touch your heart and transform your life. Welcome back, Adam. 902-423. Love, faith, and empowerment. Give them a call, 214-371-8768 to connect directly with their ministry. And don't forget to follow Bishop on Facebook at Corby Bush Ministries for daily inspiration and updates. Don't forget, tune in this Saturday at 6 p.m. to the Word Network for a life-changing word. No, in the raw, Zoe.
Okay, you want to do what's going on?
Yeah.
This black-owned, woman-owned beauty line has all the ones your skin could ever need. Envelop your skin in luxury with organic, botanically derived skincare and makeup that is also talc-free and cruelty-free. The foundation is weightless and feels like skin. The lipstick and eyebrows are so pigmented and come in a variety of colors that there is sure to be.
I know prayer.
My word for it. Try it for yourself and go to VG.
Yes, come on, man. What you doing? What you doing? Put that in there.
Vanguard Beauty. You don't just cover imperfections, you reveal the beauty in you.
Hey guys, it's
1.5 minutes.
Make sure. Yep, and then before you bring in and get it mic'd up when you bring it in. So we played I Guess You're Wondering, Pray Through. So we got Up, Up, and Up. Zoe?
Yeah.
Tell Zoe don't be cheating on us. She working another show while she working the brunch bunch.
Listen.
Homie don't play that. Who remember Homie don't play that?
I got to get everything done for everybody.
Oh, Lord. Justice, I want you to check to see if they have cold coffee in there.
They don't have cold coffee.
They don't feel that thing no more.
What isn't it? Wasn't it from the tap originally?
Yeah,
I don't think that's filled,
wasn't a $1 billion company.
right?
But Samira brought that up last time she was in here. We
Yeah,
had
hit
to
out. One
check.
of our guests was asking for it, so they tried to get some cold coffee.
Fancy.
Yeah, coffee was.
You sound like a Gen Z.
Coffee was. Well, that's what's in Isn't that what it is?
That's called iced coffee. No, cold brew is different.
Oh.
It's the way it's
Well, you didn't say
brewed.
cold.
What's going on for all those Gen Zers under the sound of my voice? There's a difference between cold brewed coffee and coffee with ice. Now, listen, if you're not tuned in on our social media, make sure we have exciting conversations behind the scenes. Listen, the election is almost here,
Mm-hmm.
and the candidates are swinging hard in the swing states. They are campaigning. They've been in Pennsylvania, but I must say, Vice President Kamala Harris announced her plans. Well, I'll be John Brown. Y'all pray my strength in the Lord. We're so transparent here on the Brunch Bunch, but Kamala Harris announced her plan for black men, which, you know, the funny thing is people are like, why is she just doing this? She should have been did this, then this. Um, well, black men are already, we need to talk about under marginalized. What about black women? But I thought about something. There is, there has not been a great emphasis on black men when it comes to legislation. Are we having issues? Oh, so I'm excited to know that she's doing that. Now, Trump was talking to women and galvanized women supporters, and one of the sound bites that I saw was that he was in a room full of women in a private town hall. So of course he started talking about the border and protection to fearmonger. Of course, if the mamas and the wives are not feeling secure, of course, But I digress. But Kamala Harris said she put out what's called the Opportunity Agenda. It's a 9-page policy proposal that focuses on economic empowerment, health equity, and criminal justice. Adam may like to hear this one. And although this, and I do want to say, just because this policy says black men, it's for everyone, right? But there's an emphasis on black men who have had these issues. So she said no one in America should be going to jail for smoking marijuana.
Yes, sir.
So she has
Amen.
vowed to
Amen.
federally make marijuana legal, which more states than not have legalized marijuana.
Yep.
So it should be
Recreationally.
federally legal.
Should be federally by far. By
She
far.
she also so key aspects of the plan include providing forgivable loans to black entrepreneurs. I'm with it, of course. Expanding apprenticeship programs. I'm with it, and eliminating degree requirements for federal jobs. I'm definitely with it.
I'm with the $6,000 for the first year of family too.
Oh man,
I'm with
okay,
that.
you've been doing your studies. All right, listen. Harris is working to energize black male voters, particularly in battleground states like Pennsylvania and Michigan, where her support has lagged. Former President Barack Obama has been campaigning alongside her, urging black men to step up and support her candidacy, citing their importance is ensuring a victory over Donald Trump in 2024. Now,
Insurance.
Donald Trump, now, for the Republicans that are listening, and I do want you to know, and I'm so excited and grateful that my supporters, our listeners, my social media followers, my crew, as I will call them, my crew, um, they support me and we're comfortable enough to have conversations that we don't agree on, right?
Yeah.
And so I've been blessed to have conversations with seniors who are supporting Trump, black seniors. I've had conversations with Gen Zers that are supporting Kamala Harris. I've had conversations with middle aged folks that say they ain't voting. So I've had all around conversations, and I say that to say this: no matter who you're voting for, let's not fall out with each other over it, right? Let's not hate each other because of who we support. Let's just support someone. Go to the polls and vote. Now, I will say, I am not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm an independent. I try to not vote party. I vote for the people, the person, and what they're speaking to in regards to my values, my core values, right? Economic development is one of my core values. I love supporting entrepreneurs, and I want to see small businesses thrive, so that spoke to me. Um, Securing the border is one of my core values, right? I want to see, if we have to follow laws, I say follow the laws, right? If you have a process to become a citizen in this country, I say you got to stick with the process, right? If you're saying kids have to be vaccinated to go to school, that should be across the board. I just agree with it. I agree with a woman having the right to choose. I don't control a woman's body. And I talked to the physician that we had yesterday after the show, and when Valencia was diagnosed with cancer, they asked us to abort Maddox, not once but twice, and he was 7 months, which was ludicrous, right? And of course, when they asked if we want the abortion, I'm the father, the husband. I could have stood up and said, "Are you nuts?" But I deferred to Valencia, and I did just want to hear her thought, but I was gonna give my input too. But thankfully, the Bible teaches how can two walk together unless they agree. I thank God that we agree on a lot of things because that wasn't happening. So, there's stark contrast differences between the two candidates, but let's just pray. Let's activate the unbelievers. If you have good topics to talk to your family members about why they should be voting, but at the end of the day, we need to vote. If you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And right now, when you don't vote, you're electing people that are creating tables that you'll just be on the menu because they'll never allow you a seat at the table. But I do want to just bring up something funny. Donald Trump had a rally recently, and I think for about 58 minutes, he just stood there and played music. Adam,
It looks like he just blanked out. I don't know.
He was just waving in the wind.
He's just waiting for other people to
so
finish.
where are the
He looks
Yeah,
like he just checked out.
yeah. It looks
Honestly,
like
he
so.
really
It looks
did.
like he was getting annoyed with people fainting. And it was him interrupted. They were interrupting him during his, and he
So they
told
were
them.
fainting. Why? Let's talk about
I'm
that. Because
guessing
it was
because it
too
was
hot,
yes.
and in the venue it was too hot.
That's what I'm
Oh, I was
guessing.
about to
So,
say, I'm like, I know they're not fighting like you, Michael Jackson or
so you
nothing.
don't
Yeah,
have
yeah,
the
yeah.
capacity, the compassion to say, "Hey, let's end this rally. It's hot. We
Yeah,
got
no, he said.
one person fainted. Then if somebody else fainted, now it's a problem."
Yeah, so a second person fainted right after that first person. Then he asked his team if they could put on Ave Maria and just let that play. And then he asked if anybody else wants to faint.
And it looked like a
Wow.
scene from, if you've all ever watched the movie Step Brothers.
Yes.
They played that same song,
Yeah.
and But here's the thing: why? Um, Tina said all I could see was a patient in the nursing home with dementia when he was performing. And
That is
but
true.
here's the deal: if we're gonna do it for one, let's do it for the other, right? Where are the Republicans that were saying Joe Biden needed to step down?
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Where are they now
Absolutely.
to say that something is not clicking
Yeah.
with Donald J. Trump?
There's something.
Because 58 minutes in a hot rally just playing,
I mean, that makes no logical sense.
yeah.
People that are fainting in the room, just keep them in the room longer. That makes no logical sense. That's crazy.
Well, it shows no compassion. Um,
Well, it shows no like having
Common
yeah,
sense.
no eyes
Hmm.
on the room.
But that's the leader of the free world that you want to elect if you're voting. So just be very careful. I know, listen, we are living, somebody told me yesterday, black woman, a black woman told me she was not interested in Kamala Harris. And she gave me some very valid points, but she said she's voting for her because that's the better choice.
Okay.
She said, but in 4 years, If there's a better choice,
Yeah,
she will not vote
well, she
for
has
to
to.
reelect.
Yeah, there's gonna be another. There's gonna be a different choice for sure.
Well, we would hope. We would hope. We would
Well,
hope. We would hope. So
yeah, hopefully.
let's continue to pray for our country. You know what? I've said it. My pastor said it this past Sunday. No matter who is in the White House, although we live in this world, we are not of this world.
Amen.
And the heart of the king is in the master's hand. So you know what? Because of that, I know we're going up,
Mm.
up, up. Is Anthony Brown up right here on the brunch bunch? Don't go nowhere. We got way more to share. Autumn texted me, would you go to sleep?
Yeah, she said that in the. That's why I was laughing.
Say give me some coffee.
In the private chat.
Hey, girl.
That's what I was gonna ask you about Barack Obama.
Chico, give me some coffee
On Black Twitter,
with ice.
I've seen a lot of people. I've seen a lot of
Unless,
people
check
be.
the machine. Nothing beats a failure but a
Yeah,
try.
I've seen a lot of people on Twitter. They're like not rocking with Kamala just strictly off she's a woman. Like in the
That's the only
on Black
that's
Twitter,
their only excuse if she's a woman.
they're
We're
not gonna
not
let
voting for
like
her
men
because
aren't
she's
gonna
a
let a
woman and
woman
she's
tell them
black.
what to do. Like
Oh, he said it was all love. We didn't get to talk about that. Okay, well, let's get this interview. No, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna do another story. I'm
yeah,
gonna,
how do you feel about them getting Barack Obama and saying you should vote for this person? That was like the main argument was not the simple fact that she was a woman, yes, but also that they're just getting another black president to tell people who to vote for. People are upset about that.
say you lady said, what's happening? Go to bed immediately. Listen, you know what? I went to sleep early too.
What time do you wake up?
Same time, same bedtime every day, 7 o'clock. But maybe I got too much sleep.
Yeah, it makes you tired. That does
Yeah,
make you tired.
and then I sleep with two domestic
Then
terrorists,
you're not sleeping fully. You
and
can't let them sleep in the bed.
they gotta get out.
Yeah, you sleeping with them babies, they gonna make you even
That's
more
how I
feel
go to sleep with
sleepy.
my dog. She only sleeps in bed.
Stay in lane. I didn't know until I walked in.
Did you bring yesterday?
No, because I'm tired, so I wanna.
Yeah. You don't want to fall asleep on her.
You need candy or something.
Yes, Adam.
Huh.
Can you get me some of those Nightcrawler gummy candies?
Yeah, I think there's
And if they got the little, what's the ones I used to eat?
Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah, those little Jolly Rancher chews. Okay, I got a question. Um, what are your thoughts? So, Kamala Harris is talking about policy for black men. And a black man, the Faithful Black Men Association, put up that
One more left in the.
I was about to say Adam only brought me one pack. Uh, it may sound extreme, but a federal mandate for DNA testing of newborns. He wants to see a federal mandate
Yes.
for DNA testing of newborns.
Yes.
He said fraternity fraud is
It's up there.
30%.
That's too much.
It poses a significant threat to generational wealth. What are your thoughts?
That's way too much. That's too high of percentage for me.
With life insurance and investments, you can
30% is crazy.
30%, that
That's
is enough.
crazy.
if you or anyone
Is
you
that
know is
30? One in three. You're gonna let one in three people
or
commit
you just
fraud?
need a free assessment of your
Nah.
life insurance and investment plan,
Adam said one pack now, Adam.
go ahead and give us a phone call at 815-277-6772. Again, that's 815-277-6772.
Is this cold coffee or iced coffee?
Hey, it's your main man, Action
Iced
Jackson,
coffee.
and
This
it's
is
time
iced
for our
coffee.
second annual Chicagoland Dad Squad Day Adventure to Boo at Brookfield Zoo. It's
Tita
Friday
said
through
I'm all
Saturday,
for it. When in doubt,
proceeds of
DNA.
games at 9 a.m. We're calling all fathers. Pull up with your families.
I had a
Bring
whole
our
day
kids.
planned, y'all.
Limited tickets available. And
Gone out
remember,
the
It's
window.
out the window.
fathers to RSVP We're going to pay for your parking. Go to
Just save it for tomorrow.
I had two board meetings last night.
Oh, I thought you meant the show.
No, just life.
Meet me there. Saturday,
A
October
day of
19th.
things I needed to do.
Are you ready to bring
Attention
the guests in?
motorists, get your new Buddy Bear yearly buddy pass for as low as
Go to In
$17
the Raw.
a month.
Then we'll do I do another song. Then
Wherever
get
you are with
Oh, I got you.
15 locations, you can go
who tech.
anytime and
Yeah,
get your
send more
car washed
commercials.
every day if you want. All year long, Buddy Bear members will receive exclusive perks and offers throughout the membership. Go to
You said in the
BuddyBearCarWash.com.
raw now?
That's BuddyBearCarWash.com
I'm with
and
you,
start
Autumn.
your
Where you at?
membership today. You can ride out with a clean ride tomorrow.
You answer
That's
that.
BuddyBearCarWash.com. Attention entrepreneurs, it's your girl, Attorney India Rios, your one-stop
Attorney
shop
India
for real estate
Rios.
services. Whether
Oh,
you're launching a new
we meet
business,
again.
getting started an established one,
Yes,
outsourcing,
welcome in. Hey, Miss Audrey.
How you doing? How you
secure
doing?
your
You can
brand
come right here.
today. Call 773
Welcome, welcome, welcome. And black women we trust.
That's 773 And for a limited time, get $100
Your
off
spirit
with the
told
promo
me
code
you were
BRUNCHBUDDY.
gonna be
And remember,
in here with me.
call Attorney India
After you
Rios
went, we
to
got out to the
secure your
elevator.
brand
She went
from
right.
the
Something
top.
said you should get it because she with you. She with Audrey.
Life
But I was, of course, a little late, so I was running up in here.
Girl, you a hard working man.
credit score can stop you from buying a
Who's this
house,
second?
a car, or starting
Oh,
a
I was
business.
like,
The
Well,
microphone.
lucky for you,
Pay it to your
professionals
shirt.
at Wealthy Intentions are great at credit repair. They can help you address all those inaccurate, unverified, or unfair negative items on your credit report. It just takes one phone call and you'll walk away with a free credit analysis and a game plan to start fixing your credit. Call 872-319-3319 to get your free one-on-one credit evaluation today, and you can be laughing at bad credit tomorrow. Call 872-319-3319 for your free credit evaluation.
Spell your name so I can make sure it's spelled correctly.
ANETTE.
Well, of course, I'm not Tamara Fair, but we were talking about this presidential election and how Vice President Kamala Harris has just released new policy plans for black men, which is so important. And our guest walked in and talked to, and her shirt says, "In Black Women We Trust." But I read an interesting fact that I just wanted to kind of put out there. And the fact was, they're asking black men on black Twitter, what kind of policy would you like to see enacted? And there has been a high response of men that want to see a federal mandate for DNA testing of newborns.
Amen.
And I
Well,
got brothers in the back talking
amen.
about amen. I got a
I'm
sister saying
saying
amen.
amen.
You know, we talked about this briefly last week in our behind the scenes conversation. So if you're not following us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, please do. But I wanted to bring it to on air because last week I was flabbergasted that a man should have to act like his wife or his significant other who he has been in a serious relationship with. And the brothers were like, nope, DNA test. And I'm like, whoa, do you know how many marriages that'll break up asking your wife that? But I didn't know. A brother put up that paternity fraud is at 30%.
So that's all new to me.
Right.
It's
Well,
new. I'm like,
no, this is not
well, it's
new.
not new.
You know, come on now.
Right.
Murray.
Murray, right. Well, I guess. Well, trust me, Murray.
Oh
I
my
mean,
goodness. So the only reason I can say they want that is because it is so hard for a black man to get a job, a contract, or anything when they got child support slapped on their credit report.
Yes.
They cannot go around it, through it, or anything. They got to pay up.
Yep. Or in some cases, go to jail if
Oh,
they
so
don't pay.
yes,
And so one of the brothers said it poses a significant threat to generational wealth creation.
that's true.
And so I'm like, wow. But you know what? Talking about, I want you to go on our Facebook page. Tell us what you think. Should that be a federal mandate, DNA testing of all newborns just out the gate? Now, if they pass that law, I'm going to start a DNA testing company
oh
because
well.
that means prices are going
Oh
up.
my
But
goodness.
it is said that we are here, you know, and it's saying that a lot of us don't like to tell the truth because we want to try to keep that marriage or that relationship together. And sometimes women know that he's not the father. I just dropped the mic right there, you know, and that's it because it is a shame that if John Doe ain't really John Doe's father.
Well, the scenario last week was Tamara asked behind the scene, and she couldn't be here today, but she asked if you've been taking care of a baby for 18 years and found out on your 18th birthday
was
that
me.
that child is not yours, should you be paid back the child support or whatever funds you?
I would say
And I'm like,
absolutely.
and look, my sister's over here. Let's jump in because I want you to know who our guests are. I am so excited to have on the Brunch Bunch today Audrey Woodley. Woo, woo, woo. She's a business and leadership coach dedicated to helping small businesses grow through city and state grants. She's also the founder of Changing Oasis, an educational institution focused
Yes.
on literacy, apprenticeship programs, and job readiness for underserved communities. Audrey's passion for business development and community impact has made her a true force in bridging education and employment. Let's give her a warm brunch bunch. Welcome, 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 welcome. Now, before we jump in this interview with Audrey, I do want to say West Side.
West
I
Side.
All
also want to
day.
say Soul City. She is
Soul
located in
City.
the Soul City corridor on Chicago Avenue.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I had the pleasure of viewing her office space and location and learning more about her when I was blessed to go on the Access to Capital tour with U.S. Bank. And
Yes.
first shout out to U.S. Bank.
I'm still
Yeah.
Listen,
startled by that.
yes,
Okay, you recorded that day too?
yes, I
I
did.
have yet to go find it. I'm so
I
sorry. So
will
I
get
need.
you the video. I will
Okay.
get you the
I
video.
know we
I
was
know. Yeah.
packed up in that place.
Yes, we were, but it was for a good cause. And I was so because the crazy part is when I was invited on the tour. Shout out to Mikai Brown,
Mikai, where you
VP.
at?
Yeah.
I was like, I looked at the list and I'm like, where's the West Side businesses? And I had missed it.
Mhm.
And then when we pulled up on Chicago Avenue, my heart was excited. I was glad. I'm like, because this is my neighborhood.
Yes.
And to see you doing great work over there. So I
Yes.
had to have you on the show.
Yes.
So
Yes.
welcome, welcome one more time.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So Audrey, tell the believers a little bit about your story and how you got to creating Changing Oasis. Because if I remember, you're an educator.
Yes.
And then you now entrepreneur.
Yes. So I was basically working at Michelle Clark. So I'm an eagle. So I used to tell the kids I'm starting my own nonprofit organization. So I started in the classroom,
Mm-hmm.
and my kids would be like, Miss Woody, what you doing? I said I'm starting Changing Oasis. They
Mm.
was like Changing Oasis, and so I would have my students believing in my own dream with me,
I love it. I love it.
because the goal was how can I help the young adults or parents that didn't have a high school diploma.
Mhm.
So that's kind
Mhm.
of like really how I started, and then I wanted to showcase vendors and small businesses in our community because I felt as though there was a missing part of small businesses in the Austin community or even just outside of Austin, like where do we get the marketing? How can we get support? Because if you're not a big fish in the community, you don't get the marketing, so you get no customers. So
Mm-hmm.
coming from grandmama and mama, we always had a small business, and one of the things I wanted to do was make sure I did businesses, but at the same time, I said, okay, God, what am I supposed to be doing with Changing Oasis? So Changing Oasis came abroad when I was just trying to look for how do I support literacy and how do I support those that didn't have a high school diploma.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Most people don't know that there is a high percentage of adults on the west and south sides that A don't have a high school diploma and B cannot read.
Mm.
And it's funny because I sit on the board, UBL, and we had our board meeting last night, and we have one of the largest literacy programs. And
Okay.
when I first joined the organization, 15 years ago, young, I'm like, why do we have a literacy program? People know how to read. They go, but it is so crazy over the years and seeing the data and the people we help. It's like, wow. So you said I'm gonna fill that gap. I'm gonna help.
Yes.
But not only literacy, you doing capacity building, which is super important
Yes.
for small business in government grants and procurement. Now, grants is the buzzword now, right? Everybody talking grant, 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 which thankfully there are some grants out here.
Yes.
But you got to know how to navigate to find the grant. You got to know how to apply for the grant.
That is
You
true.
got to know how to spend that grant money. And you got to know how to report where you spend that
Come
money
on
at.
now, that's right.
He preaching to
See,
the
that's true.
choir.
So let's talk about how you help small businesses navigate the certification processes for city and state grants and procurement opportunities.
So one of the things I don't know if Jewel ever applied for this. I had always had a niche for helping small businesses, whether they paid me or not. So last year there was a grant with the county. It's a
Mm.
jock grant, and with the jock grant, if you have a minimum of 3 years, anybody that have a not-for-profit can apply for it. But you just
Mhm.
have to have a minimum of 3 years, and they will give you $100,000.
Oh.
So those of you all that are out there, you need to make sure you're on our call on the 25th because I want to make sure you access that.
Oh,
Mhm.
it's coming back up.
Yes.
Yes, and this is a rolling grant, meaning it's open. It's open now. So you
Mhm.
just got to get your ducks in a row. So I just want to say the capacity building, I have always done that, but I have not always been funded. I was funded for my full-time job. So we always
Hmm.
tell you before you leave your full-time job to start a non-for-profit or start any business, please have some type of income coming in
Yes.
because you're going to need like financial statements. You're going to need something to say, where are you going to get this money to do this? Whether you're paying for rent, a cell phone, a car note, or another employee, how are you going to fund your business? So I stayed in that classroom, and that classroom, my CPS job helped me fund Changing
Yeah.
Oasis.
Wow. 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 So you brought a guest with you. You want to
Mhm.
introduce who you brought with you? Because
Yes.
I know the believers hear her melodic voice, your
Oh my
amen
goodness.
corner.
Yes. Yeah, you all have to know when you're building a business, you go through ups and downs. You go through people that you can and cannot trust.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful with your property, your intellectual property, your business.
Yes.
And so I was having a hard time just really finding that space. So one day I was at the no, I was at a African festival, right, on the south side, because
Mhm.
I love me some south side.
Hmm.
And I just ran into her spirit first.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know who she thinks she is, but I want to work with her. And so I pretty much grabbed her from the spirit. And I was like, I need your help.
Mhm.
And then I went looking up to see what she does. So I met Antoinette Jewel. I pulled her because I wanted to connect the west side and the south side so we can bring resources together. Because sometimes I might not get it and the south side may get it. Well, how can she help
Yep.
me? And then if I get it, how can I help her? So I was bridging that gap. So now I'm introducing Antoinette Jewel. She is, I'm telling you, she is what she says she is, a jewel spiritually, and she helps me in all kind of ways. I know I have my days with her, but she's a real sister. Go ahead,
Oh,
Jewel.
that's
Well, welcome,
wonderful.
Antoinette Jewel, Miss Jewel.
Yes, thank you.
So, Miss Jewel, tell us a little bit about you and what you do.
I do too much. Okay. I really do. Real quick, I am the second child to six sisters. No, I call them six sisters. I'm sorry, six brothers and three other sisters. So it's 10 of us. So I always carry everything. Just,
Hmm.
just being who I am, helping others. But activism,
Walk that
radio
wage.
station, radio personality, transformation. Right now, I'm working with the Urban Arc and Changing Oasis, the only two non-profit organizations that I'm putting all my energy into. Was doing the Comedic Yoga, Soul Yoga Fest throughout Chicago for 7 years with Yasira Hotep, and I'm always giving back. I love what I do, so I was glad because when I got with Audrey, I was like, I have to go pray about you. I did
I love
because
it.
I didn't want God bringing people into my life again with the chaos or
Yeah.
just the usury. So
Hmm.
working with her, we reciprocate
That's right.
amongst each other. So then you realize that you don't want anybody else in your life that can reciprocate
Yep.
what you're giving them. So if God has a way of cutting things out of your life so that you can get your wealth, please be obedient and
Yep.
just do it. But This right here, all the boards, all the mics and stuff, this ain't nothing new to me.
I
Okay,
see.
content developer, did all the stuff in the music industry with everybody you can name. So I just been real quiet, because when the come back,
Mm.
it's the comeback
I
time.
love it. When the
Yeah.
comeback, come
Come
back.
back.
Well, I was blessed to ride the elevator up with you, and I felt good spirit. And the spirit told me, I said, I knew it, but I was just moving too fast.
Yeah,
But the spirit
you was
told me that you
moving
were gonna
too.
be with Audrey,
Yes,
right?
yes.
I'm like, I gotta get up in this studio. But Audrey, one of the things I love about you, you're helping people that often don't get the help they need. They can't go to certain organizations, or certain organizations
You
won't
know
help
this.
them.
You know this.
And trust me.
You know
So,
this.
can you highlight, and I got to hear one, but I want to highlight, can you highlight a success story where your coaching led business to securing either a significant government contract or grant, or start their company? Let's.
Yeah, so I started out with a coalition with Paul Pearson, and it was it was like 10 to 20
Yeah.
of us, and we was doing this thing for like a year and a half. And so there was a huge grant that came out, and we was gonna all apply and then apply together. That's the
Mm,
coalition. So one young lady actually has it's called Hipology. She teaches young adults how to grow food and in the cannabis space, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
So one day she heard me talk about how you should have a non-for-profit because mostly everybody have a for-profit. So she realized I'm about to miss out on some money. So she went and restarted her not-for-profit, right? She went and restarted her not-for-profit. And then what I did for the whole coalition, I did a class and I showed them how to complete the application for the grant. Now we all thought we was gonna walk away with two and $300,000. I
Mm.
promise you, we all did. And it was only one person that walked away. That was Carolyn Vasquez.
Oh
She
wow.
was the only one that walked away with $140,000.
Wow. But she came to your workshop.
She came to, and
You
she's still
taught
with
her
me
how to do
today.
it. Is that
Yes.
who I met at the space?
I believe so. I believe so. Carol, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. She came in.
Full of energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she actually came in, and she basically was. She has already received the grant, but she has never done nothing like with the state like this. So with that grant, she was able to take the $140,000 and then implement that, and now she's working with the students at Collins High School,
Wow.
and she's looking to do another event at her barn, which is a farm on the west side. So we're
Yes.
gonna go visit her at the end of the month. So just those little things and helping that particular organization reach that capacity is great because now she's empowered to go do more and then help others. So she really helps me too because now I know what I can do and then how we can all work together to help other people get more grants. So that was one of my success stories. And she's from the West Side, and I want to say, I've been knowing her through Paul Pearson. Like I said, I met her through another coalition, but it's great to be in a group of others where you can support each other.
Well, one of the things that it's funny how we work in our community, right? I love how you said you met her, you saw her spirit, you wanted to connect and work. You didn't meet her, see her spirit, and say, "This is my competition." And we
Mm.
have to quit looking at people as competition and look at them as potential
Yes,
collaborators, right?
yes, yes.
Hmm.
And so listening to you, and of course, I did my research before, and I got to come and see you,
Hmm.
and so we do some of the same things, but we have different outlets on doing it. And so I
Yes.
got some ideas
Come
for
on
us to
now.
work together. So
Thank
I
you.
want everybody to know about your government certification workshop series that you got coming up. Let's
Yes.
talk about that.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
So I ran. I don't know if you all know. I met another young man, Lavar Love.
Hmm.
He is actual a realtor, but he also have an investment company and he does an apprenticeship.
Okay.
And he was telling me about how he has an apprenticeship program and you don't have to have a high school diploma to get into the program. And I was saying to him, well, you know what? I would like to know how we could work together because I'm working on another grant with the state and in the clean energy space, in the energy space.
Mm-hmm.
And so how we can work with other businesses to be a subcontract on our contracts, right? So if he's already in place and doing the work, why can't I work with LeVar Love and his construction company to deliver some of the products or the services that I need to render? And so he's going to be on the show because I want him to talk about he's from the West Side and how it's hard to get into the West Side. And if you ain't in, you're not a part of somebody, it's hard to get inside. And I'm from the West Side. You know, I'm from La Follette Park. I ran
Okay.
track.
All right.
I
All
did all
right.
of that. I'm from L Town. I'm just like,
Ah!
so when you're not, and I felt it was something that when he told me he went to the school, forget John Hay. I said, you went to John Hay? I went to Lewis School, but I got buzzed because it was crowded back in the day. But when you're from the West Side, that means that's a lot because when we grew up, we had everything. Community was everything. And so I wanted to make sure you all get on the call on the 25th so you can hear his story. I want you all to hear about his program and then also hear about the grant if you have a not-for-profit or if you're a for-profit, how you can get in tune with even buying a building, rehabbing a building, and how we can all support each other to build wealth.
I love it. So that's going down October the 25th. That's a Monday at 10 a.m. It's called Develop Your GPS for Grants and Capacity
Yeah,
Building.
there's Friday, right? 20. I
Oh,
hope.
okay. Is it the 25th? October the 25th.
Yeah.
You know, I thought today was Tuesday, so don't get me started. The note they put in front of me,
Yes,
believe it,
yes,
don't think
yes.
I'm crazy, said Monday, but I'm glad that
Yes.
you fixed that.
Yes,
Friday, October the
Yes.
25th.
yes.
So everybody got to do their GPS because you need some navigation. You need
Yes.
navigation to build friendships. You need
Mhm.
navigation to build your not-for-profit. You need navigation to build your funding, to understand all of these different systems that you need to have in place.
Yep.
It's a whole mindset. So you need a community. You need to be able to navigate. And thankfully to US Bank, the grant that I actually received to help small businesses is really helping when I say capacity building. If it wasn't for that grant, I don't even know where I would be because some of the grants that we get, it's not enough to run your organization or
Yep.
program. You need to stack your grants.
Yep.
So if you're grant stacking, I commend you because one grant is not going to do it. You need
It's
about
not
two or
enough.
three of
That's
them.
right.
Well, people don't understand. And I just been in the game a while, so I'm glad you're teaching them. I'm trying to teach. People don't understand that a lot of these grants don't even have admin
Mm.
Operation
budget
dollars.
in there,
Mhm.
operational
Mhm.
expenses. So it may just be to do the work. So you ain't getting paid. So you gotta make sure that you understand and you got a roadmap. You got your GPS because you gotta. If you never heard of grant stacking, you definitely need to be on the call. Most
Yeah.
people, everybody calls in like, I want a grant, I want a grant. And I'm like, it's more to just
And
wanting a grant. So let's
yeah.
educate you because you can get that grant, and if you don't do right by that grant, you'll never get it again, and you could end up somewhere you don't want to be. So Miss Audrey Woodley, you are changing lives and helping people to change their oasis.
Mhm.
Oh, I
Ah,
love that, man.
Oh,
ah.
I
love
see
it. I
it.
love it. I
I
love it.
got
Oh,
it
you
now. I
got
got
something there,
it. It's going down October the
Yes.
25th, 10 a.m.
I'm not gonna tell you what my students used to say.
Oh, well, but let me ask this, because somebody just asked, is there a cost for this class?
No, it's not.
It's free.
It's
So
free.
how do they register?
They will actually just come to Changing Oasis Facebook page, look at the link, and just click the link for the Zoom link, and they should be able to register for the 25th.
Mhm.
All right, so follow Changing Oasis on Facebook.
Yes.
And do you have Instagram?
We have
So
Instagram,
Changing Oasis, Facebook, on Instagram. Find them as Audrey Woodley.
Google,
Yeah, Google her. You can check her out on audreywoodley.com.
audreywoodley.com. And that piece, I'm going to update that sometime this afternoon.
Yes,
Listen,
indeed.
well, that's the
Indeed.
life of an entrepreneur,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And until, we stack those grants
You
so
got to
high
stack them.
that you can have full staff and salaries and
Hey,
social
that's
media
Well,
and
right. I'm trying.
website.
let me tell you about that. When I first met Miss Simmons, I didn't have my money. So a lot of you all may have to use human capital
Yes.
until you get the money.
Yep.
If you are willing to stay in for the fight,
Yep.
because we fought the fight.
Yes, we
Well,
did.
listen, Miss Audrey,
It was
we are
it was a
so.
bunch of folks too.
Ah! I
I
can
Look,
I can tell
no,
y'all
no.
get work done and have a
Listen,
good
no,
time
we
too.
do. We really do. Up all night long talking on the phone. Did you see this? Did you see that? Did you look over that? But it's about holding each other accountable. you
Well,
know,
I'm
and
glad
that's
that
how
you
you
all
win.
joined us. Miss Jewel, you are a Jewel. Miss
We
Audrey
coming back if
Woodley,
you have us
please
back.
come back. Please come back. Go to audreywoodley.com. Check it
Yes.
out on our social media. We're going to be posting the flyer. We
Yes.
are out of time, but we're never out of content. I want you to remember that the strength you need for today is already within you. You were made for this moment.
This
Keep
moment.
love 24 alive. Tell someone that you don't know that you love them. Tell someone that you do know that you love them. Love will begin to spread like a wildfire.
Yes.
Believers, we love you. Baby Eminem, we love you. Up next, AC Green. After that, Pastor DeAndre Patterson with the afternoon drive. We get it done all night long right here on Inspiration 1390. Facebook, oh, Tina said great info. Tina, you were tagging the folks too, I see.
I took it out. Yes.
The views and opinions expressed in the preceding program do not reflect the staff or management of Inspiration
All
1390
right, see you all tomorrow.
Thank you so
I
much.
don't see you.
But we gonna